3, 2, 1.
Hi guys and girls, I'm Fire Marshal Shinn with the Fort Belvoir Fire Department. Today we're going to go over and visit Lieutenant Gus and go over the fire truck with you guys. Follow me. Hey Lieutenant Gus. Hey, good morning. Fire Marshal Shinn. I'm bringing you our boys and girls to tour the firehouse.
Well, good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Fort Belvoir Fire Department, Station 466. We're glad to have you here today. We're going to go over some of the things that we do here at the airfield and also talk about some of the fire safety messages and programs that we have going on during Fire Prevention Month. And we'd like to welcome you over here. And if you join us, we're going to show over some of the equipment that we have on board. And some of our personnel are going to get dressed and show you what a firefighter looks like before he goes into a burning building to save someone. We're going to show you what they look like before and while they're getting dressed, and we're going to talk about the equipment that they're putting on and what that equipment does, and we're also going to talk about fire safety. All right? So come on aboard and let's take a walk around, okay? Right this way. So just some of the things about here at the airfield. We have 7 people in the fire station every day. We have a lot of fire trucks and fire apparatus that we have here, but the most 2 important apparatus that we ride and we take care of are our fire engine that you see here, right? And just behind you on the opposite side, we'll turn over and let you see it, is our foam unit. It's very large. You guys can see the tires and the things. We're going to take a special video of the foam unit on what it does and how it works here at Station 466. So let's take a walk around the engine, right? So obviously a fire engine is going to carry water, lots of equipment. It's going to carry hose, ladders, all of the equipment that we need to successfully put out a fire, to run a medical call, to also help anybody in need that we're there to help, right? We have to have a pump, right? That's how we get the water to the fire hose. And this is where the firefighters sit. And just like you at home, when you get in your mom and dad's vehicle, when you get on any vehicle, you have to put on a seatbelt. So just like you guys do, we all wear our seatbelts no matter what. The fire truck is not going to leave the fire station unless we all have our seatbelts on. So make sure that you wear your seatbelt every day, right? And we will, to keep you safe and to make sure that we're there to help people, we got to make sure that we wear our seatbelts. We're coming around front. This is where the driver sits. And we always have to be ready for a call. So sometimes they'll leave the equipment ready to go so they can get in and go to the call very quickly, okay? And here we are, right back in the front of the fire truck. So now we're going to have firefighter Supples get dressed for us. Hey, how you doing, Supples? This is firefighter Supples. He's going to be getting dressed for us today. He's riding the foam unit today. So we're going to show what he looks like if we get an emergency response, okay? Remember, so first thing he's going to do is he's going to get on and he's going to put his pants on, right? So you notice that we like to do things quickly. So he's got his pants already with his boots. So he can just put his pants up after he's put on his boots and he's ready to go. All right, so he's got his pants on. He's put his suspenders up so he doesn't lose his pants, right? Now he's going to put his hood on. So that's so he doesn't burn his hair like I did. Last week I had a lot of hair. Now, you see? No hair, right? He still has hair. So that's so we can protect our ears. That's so we can protect our skin from getting burned if we go into a fire. Now he's going to put on his coat. Some people have zippers on their coats. He's got buckles. It all depends on the preference of when we bought that gear, but they all do the same thing. We want to make sure it doesn't open or leave any exposed skin while we're going inside of a burning building. Or in his case, he's on the crash truck. So if we had to rescue someone here at the airport, if we had an airport plane go down, a helicopter crash, we have to go rescue them. And that's what this truck comes in. And we'll show you a little bit over that later on. So now that he's got all of that on, he's going to put on his air pack. Now you guys see that his air pack's attached to his seat. That's so we can quickly come out and be ready to go once we get to the scene of the emergency. He's got to adjust his straps to make sure they fit him well, that he's not going to bump into things, right? Now he's got his air pack on. He's going to put his lap belt on, right? And he's going to cinch that up so it's nice and tight. Now he's got to grab his helmet and he's got to grab his gloves and he's going to step out. And now we're going to show you just before what he would look like before he puts his mask on, right? You can see that he's not quite different yet. And if all of you guys have ever seen Darth Vader, he's going to sound a lot like him when he puts his mask on. So you're going to hear some noise, and that's the alarm that's integrated with the air pack, that if he had an accident or fell down and could not walk or something fell on him, the alarm will go off and other firefighters can be alerted that he has an emergency and we need to go rescue him. So, why don't you say something so they can hear your voice and see the difference?
How are you all doing today?
Awesome. All right. Good enough. So now he's going to turn that air pack on. And remember, like I said, that alarm is going to go on. Very good. You guys heard that alarm? The alarm turns on the moment we put the air on, right? So now, if he was ready to go into a burning building, he's going to put his mask on right outside the door. So go ahead. So you notice everything we do, there's a pattern, right? So we want to quickly and efficiently put our gear on. He's doing this slowly so you guys can see. He's got to put on his hood on so he doesn't burn his ears, right? So everything we do, guys, is a methodical, tested way for us to get and do our job, right? We practice and practice until we're blue in the face, until we're ready to go, right? He's definitely going to go a lot faster, but right now I want him to slow down so you guys can see what that's like step for step. So now he's breathing air, right? He's got his gloves on. He is ready to go inside of a burning building, in an environment that doesn't have oxygen, or in a crash scene. This is what he sounds like when he's out there. So if you ever saw someone dressed like this coming to you, remember, they're there to help you. Do not be afraid. Go to that person because we're there to help you. In a time of an emergency, it's very confusing. So when you know that someone looks like this is coming to you, they're there to help. All right? All right, so go ahead and speak. Remember?
So I sound a little bit different right now,
A little bit different, right?
but still not scary, right?
Absolutely. He's always going to be there to help you guys. You can go ahead and take your regulator off. So he's going to take that regulator off, right? Now he's breathing regular air like he would outside. Just give me a side profile.
Sure.
So his air pack, right, these bottles in here, they can breathe for about 45 minutes. But depending how hard he's working, it's usually about 25 minutes worth of work, and then it's time to come outside. So he can either switch, take a break, and somebody else can go do that job. All right, thank you very much. So, also, what do we got to talk about? Right? We got to talk about what number you have to dial to get the fire department. Most important, right? We call 911. 911 will get you the police department, the fire department, and the ambulance. 3 things you need to know when you're calling that number. What's the address that the emergency is? What's your name? And what is the emergency? Now, we never call 911 to play games. We only call 911 when it's an emergency. All right? Next thing, it's important for you all, this is a piece of homework, then I know Fire Marshal Shinn is going to agree with me, right? You have some homework to do when you're at home, which is, do you have an emergency plan? We have an emergency plan. You guys did fire drills at school. We do fire drills at the firehouse. So, have an emergency plan, get together with whoever lives in your house, your uncle, your grandma, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, whoever lives in the house with you, and say, we need to practice our emergency plan. So you always have to know what to do if you have an emergency. If Doesn't have to be a fire. It can be a medical call. It could be a gas leak. Anything that's an emergency, you need to leave the house. Have a plan. Know where to go. Go to the neighbor's house. Go to the front of the house. Make sure you all have a plan and you practice. Every time, practice makes it perfect. Just like we practice getting dressed and doing our job, you should do the same. Always have a plan, practice, and be ready to go. That's our thought. Marshal Shinn, do you have anything else?
Thank you,
Thank you all for coming. Hope you come back again, and we'll see you soon. Stay safe.